Hi students, here we will discuss microeconomic variables and their functions. What is variable? Something that can take on different values is called variable, and in economics we use following variables: P stands for price and Q quantity, R revenue, C for cost, X for exports, I for investment, and M for imports, Y stands for national income. Okay, what is demand function? The demand function relates price and quantity. It tells us how many units of a good will be purchased at different prices. In general, at higher prices, less will be purchased. So the demand function is quantity demand is a function of price. QD stands for quantity demanded, F stands for function, and P stands for price. And it has an inverse relationship because when price increases, then demand decreases. When price decreases, then demand increases. So we talk about demand function. So the direct demand curve will generally take the linear form, that is Q is equals to A minus BP. Okay, where A and B are parameters that show assumptions and Q and P are variables. So minus shows the inverse relationship because when price increases, demand will decrease. So and vice versa. Therefore, it has inverse relationship. Okay. Now, what is supply function? Supply is a quantity where producer is ready to sell with a specific price. The supply function is quantity supply is a function of price because quantity supply stands for quantity supply, F stands for function, and P stands for price. It has a positive relationship because when price increases, then quantity supply will also be increases. When price decreases, then quantity supply will be decreases. It has positive relationship. Okay. So the direct supply curve will generally take this form: quantity supply is equals to A plus BP, where A and B are parameters that show assumptions and Q and P are variables, and plus sign shows the positive relationship between them. Okay. Now we will discuss what is utility function. The power of a commodity to satisfy the human want is called utility. So, utility means the satisfaction which a person derives from the consumption of any commodity. Now we will discuss with an example. For example, suppose a person is thirsty and wants to drink water. It means water has utility for him. So, utility function is Q, where utility U stand for utility and Q stand for quantity. Okay. What is production function? In economics, a production function relates physical output of a production process to physical inputs or factors of production. In short run, we choose that function Q is equals to function is labor, and Q stand for quantity, F stand for function, and L stand for labor, and K stand for capital. In long run, we use that function. Okay. Cost concepts define what is cost. Cost is the value of the inputs used to produce its output. For example, the firm hires labor and the cost is the wage rate that must be paid for the labor services. Okay. The total cost is the full cost of producing any given level of output, and it is divided into two parts: total fixed cost and total variable cost. Total fixed cost, it is the part of the total cost that doesn't vary with the level of output, and total variable cost, it is part of the total cost that changes directly with the output. Okay, now we discuss the function of the average cost, fixed cost, and average variable cost. We find average total cost is equals to total cost divided by units of output, and average fixed cost is equals to total fixed cost divided by units of output, and average variable cost is equals to total variable cost divided by units of output. Okay,